LaVar mentioned this last week, and we didn't know about some of the heat you were getting. And then all of a sudden on Friday,
it resurfaced again.
The New York Post had an article about
Brian Dunleavy.
Yeah, about you guys' comments about Drew Brees. And I'm thinking to myself, first of all, why is the New York Post, okay, which is supposed to be a reputable source of news, just now coming up with a news story
to
that
write
was
about that? It's like
well
2
over
weeks
a week
ago.
old. Yeah, like
it's like
easily.
2 weeks.
3. I think it was like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, it's a long time ago. I can't even respond and defend myself because I don't even remember it. I don't even remember what I said, and I don't care enough to go back and listen to it.
It wasn't even like a major topic that day, I don't think.
I wasn't attacking Drew Brees. I was just calling out.
We were busting balls.
Yeah,
who cares, man?
Well,
but these sensitive fan bases.
Hold on. Let's be real. All right. The quotes are the quotes. I'm not going to walk back anything that was said.
I'm not walking back anything.
Hey, my name wasn't on it.
For certain. I'm not walking.
That's true.
I'm not walking back anything.
I will say this. I did talk to a couple of guys who had asked me about it. And they're like, yeah, that's pretty much how people feel about him. I was like, oh, God, okay. Like, I was like, well, look, I don't necessarily feel that way. I said it wasn't what I said. Now, I didn't disagree with it. I just said, look, if NBC Sports doesn't want him, and it doesn't seem like the Saints want him, I said it's a tough pill to swallow for a first ballot Hall of Famer, which is what I said. And it is. Like, there's nothing that's changed from that aspect. It's not taking away from what he did in his career. Call him a first ballot Hall of Famer. But the reality is that TV's just as tough, if not a tougher business. I mean, think about it.
It's
Joe Montana.
Definitely tougher.
Joe Montana was viewed as the greatest of all time before Tom Brady even got there.
Couldn't do it.
And same thing, like, people were critical of him.
Yeah.
There's been plenty of others that have fallen in that category. Emmitt Smith,
Jerry Rice. I mean, guys just didn't do well in the boot. But here's the thing.
Bruce Arians had 1 year, and that was it. That was it.
Here's the thing is, I'm not going to say Bruce wasn't going to be great. He just couldn't be on that platform.
Yeah, he would need to be on a non.
You got to be able to cuss.
Yeah.
If he could cuss, he would be he would be
out.
wild. That'd
Lights out. I just think that when you say the market has spoken, we were basing the conversation off of Tom Brady already having a gig that Drew Brees would probably want or feel like he should have. I think that's the premise of where the whole conversation came from. And to get upset that I said he's not as loved as he thinks he is, like he's not on Tom Brady's level that way. Period.
Not even close.
It's just not. It's not close. So if you want to get offended and make it about, man, people have death threatened my parents. They've death threatened my kids. Like,
wait, what, from these
yes,
comments? Wow.
Yes.
I'm telling you, man.
Let me tell you something. You really got some, and I guess it's just simple to say, people really have nothing better to do with their time than that. Like, we're talking, it's sports in the end. We're talking sports, and it just is. I found it to be kind of, I don't know.
You can't.
I mean, here's what's weird: is people are so quick to defend people they don't actually know. Like, they're so quick to defend public figures and so forth, in like the weirdest ways, and even make death threats apparently about it.
Yeah.
And it's like I could never do that. Even to defend probably someone I know, let alone someone I don't know. That's what's more surprising to me is like what all comes with it.
Yeah,
it's the hero worshiping fanboy crap, like, and that people go to that extent because of commentary. And by the way, Drew Brees did this to himself when he sent out that. You talk about me getting fined for passive aggressiveness? That tweet he sent out where he said, maybe I'll come back and play.
I think that played a part in the conversation as well.
It's like, dude, what's the problem here? I mean,
like especially once it was announced he had shoulder surgery, so he wouldn't be ready until potentially into the season.
Yeah, so he's like stoking the fire, and there's no fire. He's not playing. He can't play. I don't understand.
It was no different than when he sent out the workout video.
Yeah.
Remember he
when
teased coming back
the
then?
In a parking lot.
Yeah. Todd Durkin, his trainer, was like, pumped the video out. It led to that sort of speculation. It was no different than that, trying to kind of fuel that up. And I don't know if this is based on, look, Tom Brady did, kind of similar stuff, has done similar stuff. He's still playing, though.
Yeah.
And he's Tom Brady.
Right.
I mean, let's just be clear here. And he's Tom Brady. It's not going to hit the same. And so for all the Drew Brees apologists out there that are probably listening right now to be able to say they hate me or whatever, you can hate me all you want. It doesn't change what it is. Like, he's not going to get a contract offer like what Tom Brady has received. He's not going to be running in the same circles that Tom Brady is running in as it applies to this. The market has spoken. And if you guys want to direct your hate, direct it towards the people that aren't going to do it. Like, be so influential or impactful that Drew Brees gets that $30 million offer or $100 million offer, whatever it is, and they put him on air because there are so many of you that, what do you guys say so well?
Ball
washer.
washers.
There we go. If you're that good of a ball washer, then get Drew Brees where he's supposed to be.
And by the way, if you're a
Don't
Saints
come
fan,
at me. Don't get mad at me because I'm just telling you what it is.
If you're a Saints fan and you want to get pissy about something, get pissy about that call in the NFC title game, all right? And then Drew Brees throwing the pick in overtime if you want to get pissy about something.
Yes, I won't be going to Mardi
Drew
Gras
Brees'
anytime
post-career
soon.
as a member of the media, which was a flop after 1 year, and people are getting death threats over commenting on it. What are we doing here?
Let me just say this to it all. When you look at the deal that Tom Brady got, you could have made the case that maybe that's what Drew Brees should have done. He should have tried to have those discussions while he was still playing before he left. Yeah. And then you can leverage that. But you can only leverage, what you're doing while you're still playing to a certain degree.
Right. It has to be available to you.
What Tom Brady did is the same thing Tony Romo did. He found a network that was in a bind, that is in a pinch. CBS, when Tony Romo negotiated that deal, was heading into a Super Bowl. They had to have their guy. They had to have that lightning rod. And Tony Romo came in as a broadcaster, very polarizing. Some people loved him. Some people didn't like him. Whatever the case was, it was polarizing, and so it garnered attention, and it gave them a lot more credibility when they had a guy who's been a Pro Bowler, who played for Dallas and all of that, as their number one guy. And so he seized that opportunity. Tom Brady seized that opportunity with Fox Sports. Troy Aikman left. He left to go to ESPN to go take over Monday Night Football with Joe Buck. They had a void there, and they're saying to themselves, what can we do to make up for this loss? Let's go sign and announce a deal for a guy who's not even going to be here this year. He's not even going to be calling games. Like, Fox has the Super Bowl this year. Tom Brady's probably, he might be a part of it if he's not playing, but he's not calling it. He's playing football. So, he seized that opportunity where he found a network that was in need, that needed to make a splash, and he made a splash. Like, he figured it out. So, that's the other portion of all this too, is, Drew Brees doesn't find himself, at least in the broadcasting world, with that same opportunity. And so even if he was going to try to sign some big, huge mega deal, it's harder because he's like, what's the market? Who's he negotiating with now? Like, all the cards are set. If he wants to go to Fox, so be it. But, they're still eventually waiting for Tom Brady to come work for them, right? CBS has their guy. Amazon's got a Kirk Herbstreit. You've got ESPN now with Troy Aikman and Joe Buck. So he'd have to go right back to the place he's at, and Chris Collinsworth is still in that spot. So it's just the reality of the situation. Like, I know people get frustrated by that because they're excited about, Drew Brees, taking over and all that. But it's crazy to me how people don't look at it and say they utilized the leverage they had. They seized that opportunity. And I don't know that there is that same opportunity for Drew right now.
And by the way, Brees agreed to the deal with NBC, I think, before he signed his final 2-year extension with the Saints. So he had all the time in the world to prepare, get ready for his post-career, and it just didn't work out. And then now he's putting out workout videos and putting out tweets of all the different options he has. And it's a weird ending to a great career and a weird reaction to simple commentary that to me just seemed like it was pretty obvious. But apparently to the New York Post, we run with 2-week-old stories and try and throw them out to try and get a little bit of attention. So dynamite job by them over there.
Well, hey, it is what – look, it's a slow time of year. maybe they picked it up because they heard LaVar. Maybe they're listeners to the show, and they looked into it a little bit deeper, and that's what brought up the article, which is continue to give it more life.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you. I saw LaVar's face on there, and I thought to myself, I'm going to get hit with some collateral damage here.
And you did.
I did.
And
I
you
got
did.
all kinds of people shooting at me.
Not me though. Yeah, not me. Just sitting by,
Throwing out all kinds of words.
just sitting by, watching it all.
It's just funny to me.
Yeah.
I mean, it has to have some validity to it. And again, why would we not? One thing about this show, we shoot our shots, and when we shoot our shots, we give commentary, we give perspective, and it comes from a very real place. I mean, whether we're joking at times or whatever, it was a good enough take where people took notice of it and either wanted to defend it, but they wrote it, they talked about it, they kept putting it out there. You know why? Because it's a debatable topic.
Yeah.
No matter what side you fall on it, it's a debatable topic. And the you guys just laid out the facts of the situation. You laid out the information. It doesn't lie. The information doesn't lie. Where's Drew Brees? Answer me this before we go to break. Where is Drew Brees going to be next season? What is he going to be doing? Do any of us know?
Well, I'm going to say that he won't be doing TV because he was awful at it his first year. So I'm going to go with no TV.
No TV?
Yeah, no TV
okay.
for Drew Brees.
What about you, Brady? TV?
I think he'll be doing TV for someone. I don't know if it's for NBC or if it's for.
Was it local?
Yeah.
Is he going to be doing local?
Yeah, maybe.
No, I'm saying
Telemundo.
like
Fox, somebody big, ESPN?
Yeah, no, well, not ESPN. I mean, it would be Fox or NBC. It'd be one of those two.
Okay. Radio? Is he doing radio? Is he doing football? What is he doing?
Yeah.
Is he playing football?
I don't believe so.
No?
I don't think he. Well, although the reports do say that Jameis Winston has a noticeable limp, quote unquote.
Yeah, that's a great segue.
At practice.
It's a great tease.
No, just so maybe there is an option for him.
Yeah.
You know?
He kind of had that in his swag though. With his
Yeah,
walks.
that's a good
I don't know.
point.
I mean,
As long as he's not
some
licking
guys
his
have
hands.
that. Like some reporters, they'll be like, "Oh man, is he walking with a limp?" You're like, "No, man, it's just the way he walks."
Hey, he's going to suck his toes after a win, you know?
Jeez.
Like, he's going to make those toes into a W, and he's going to eat the W when they win.
What in the hell?
By the way,
Yeah,
Rex Ryan just turned the radio up so loud. I mean, that was like he
I'm
just
just
made
saying,
his morning.
Maybe that'll get picked up by the New York Post, too.
Yeah.
New York Times.
Unbelievable.
New York Post.
It is.
Trust me, the New York Times does not listen to us.
Two pros and a cup
The
of Joe.
Post, all right.